Hi, my beautiful friends. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I am so excited. I'm sure you could tell by the thumbnail what's going on here today. I had posted this picture here over on Instagram, and a few people had said, you should recreate that look, and it just triggered something in me. I love the 80s, so I'm like obsessed with the 80s. So if you want to see how I went from this to this, please continue watching. And if you're new today, what a fun day to have clicked that button. But we really do hope that you stick around and hit that subscribe and notification bell to join this amazing family here. All right, you guys, let's go back to the 80s. Okay, all my 80s lovers, let's do this. I am so excited. I hope you like my little background. Hopefully none of those fall down, but this is the outfit, you guys. I got my little gloves, and you remember these, the little jelly bracelets. And this is the shirt here. It says, I love the 80s, and it goes off the shoulder here. And I got this on Amazon, you guys. Almost everything here is from Amazon, except for those. I got those at Party City. So we're talking about the 80s, you guys. I am so in love with it. I'm still stuck there in some form. I don't know what it was. It's not even necessarily the people that were in my life at that time. I hadn't even met Daryl until 89. I think it's mostly the love for the music, the movies, everything was just so much better back then. Okay, you guys, let's get into this because, we got to get going here. There's a lot to do. I'm going to have to do my hair yet. I almost did my, you guys remember these, the banana clip? Oh my gosh. I almost did that, but I thought I would, just try to make it more towards, look like that picture. So what I'm going to do here, you guys, I lost my crimper that I used that day. So I purchased this. This is from Amazon. Ooh, that is hot. I hope this doesn't burn my hair. And I have it at 180. So looks like it's either 180 or 210. Thank goodness I didn't have it on 210. Okay, so what I did, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing here on camera, but I'm going to give you an idea. So I'm just going to pretty much just put this part over here and clip that. And we'll just start. You guys know how I am. I'm kind of random. Okay, so I just took it and I clamped. And you don't want to keep it long, I don't think. You guys, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know if it's going to do what I want. We might have to go to that banana clip. So let's start at this section here. And my hair always does better when it's dirty and it is clean. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just afraid to let it sit there too long. And then I went down, halfway through. Kept it there and then go down again. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Okay, we're going. We're getting somewhere. All right, so hopefully my hair will hold this curl. And I'm just going to move in sections here, you guys, and just do the same thing over and over. Again, I'm not going to have it be super perfect, but this is really cool curling iron here because it's not so kinky. You remember the old ones, the crimpers, it just looked like, oh gosh, a kinky mess. This is more, I think, like subtle curls. So it's super pretty, but ooh, does that get hot. Ooh, that's pretty, actually. I might be happy with this purchase. So yeah, you guys, the 80s were just the best days of my life. Whenever I hear songs, it just takes me back. I'm sure that's a lot of us here. There's just certain songs that will take you to a point in your life, what was going on. And, I had fun in school. It just wasn't my favorite, you guys. I went through a lot of phases during high school. I just really had a hard time finding, I don't know, fitting in, or I don't know, you guys. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get into those cliques. Again, I was a cheerleader and I just found it hard. A lot of them were, they came from well-to-do families or, just better than us. So it was hard to relate, and they would be able to do things that, we couldn't afford. So it just was hard, you guys. So I went through a lot of phases. I went through a semi-goth phase, you guys. I kid you not. I went through that. I went through a bag lady phase where basically everything I wore was what they're selling at Target right now, like a Little House on the Prairie. I went through that phase. I went through the normal, this bright colors, neon. So you guys, I just was always experimenting with my look. Now that didn't turn out very well. Let's see if I can go over it. You know what? Let me have that cool down before I attempt that. So yeah, you guys, it was just a lot of fun. I would love to know your favorite memory, your favorite song, your favorite movie. I'll get into more of that when we get into the makeup. Right now, I'm just going to try to get this hair done, and then we will move on. So let me just kind of go on. You guys got the idea. I'm going to have to go back and fix this, but you got the idea. So I'm just going to finish my hair and I'll come back and then we'll start the makeup. Okay, you guys, this is about as good as it's going to get. Yeah, it did not turn out like that picture. I think I got too big of barrels for my hair. So I do like the concept, so I might exchange it, like return that one and get something, just a little smaller. Yeah, but it just kind of looks frizzy. Oh, well, you guys, that was in the 80s. Okay, so I already did prime my eyes, and I used this here. I'll link that in the description box. And I also did just kind of spray my face for some hydration. And I used the Pixie, and this is the Skin Treats Hydrating Milky Mist. So that's what I just used. So let's begin, you guys. The palette I chose to use is this one here by You Can Be. I think it's just absolutely perfect. There are so many shades. Oop, my little necklace came apart. But look at all the bright shades. So I know we can come up with a look using this palette. And I am just going to do, it's going to be similar to what I did in that picture, but just a little different. Back then, I wasn't doing makeup, so I think now I can just make it a little bit more, I don't know, just create a little bit more drama. So I am just going to use some tape here. And, oops, I didn't do that, but you probably always want to, press it on your skin or your shirt before you go in and place that. So now that is laid down, now I got to decide where I'm going to start. You guys, I even still have these. Look at this. You guys remember this from the 80s? Let's use it just to see what happens. I think I'm going to start with this super bright shade here. So let's just put a little bit on here, you guys. Let's just see what happens with these things. Watch my makeup turn out better than it ever is. I will just laugh. Okay, so let's talk about the 80s, you guys. Yeah, it just was one of my best times. Again, not because of the people in it. It was just the music and, the movies. They were just so good, back then. You guys, they're not bad, but I am going to use a brush. I'm just going to place a little bit and tap that off. So the music, as you guys know, I went to that concert, Tears for Fears. You guys, I don't know, there's something about them that when they sing, it's just so soothing to me. I love their voice. I love, the way that they arrange their music. It's just, out of this world. So Tears for Fears was one of my top, I would say, favorite bands. And who else, you guys? Oh my gosh, AHA. You remember, hold on, I got my little microphone. Take on. So we got AHA, Journey, oh my gosh, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Prince. You guys, I mean, if you really think about it, we had some amazing talent in the 80s. Oh gosh, you guys, let's go back to the music. I was just looking at my list. Oh my gosh, we got Africa, Wham, Blondie, Simple Minds. I just loved it, you guys. It was just so much fun. I would say in the 80s, I was more teenage years, I would say, because I don't know, I guess the things that I remember the most was probably 7th grade to 12th grade. And I would say like my school years, actually, I had a blast 7th grade up until probably 11th grade. And then I just was done, you guys. I just was, mentally out of there. And I don't know, it just got weird, high school just got weird. Like I mentioned in that one video, I think it's because, a lot of my friends were going to college and I knew that is one place I would not be able to be going. So, I think that had a lot to do with it, so I just kind of distanced myself, from them. I think I'm going to go, we're going to do all different shades here, and I think I'm going to go to this purple shade here. Let's try that out, and I'm just going to place a little bit on the tip, tap that off. And you guys, the movies, I could still watch them all over and over to this day. I love them. There was Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, Dirty Dancing, Footloose, you guys. I mean, if you think about it, Die Hard, Say Anything. My favorite, honestly, was with Patrick Dempsey. This is before he was even, pretty famous, and it was called Can't Buy Me Love. I just loved that movie. I don't know what it was about that. Goonies, Lost Boys, and I will say I had a major crush on Corey Haim, bless his little soul. God, that was just so sad, when I found out that he, had passed. What a rough life that poor kid had, and his buddy Corey Feldman. I mean, they just were so big in the 80s. I think when you're that young and you get that famous that quick, it just is, it's damaging, I think. So I really hope that this video helps people. I hope someday you can come back and reference it if you're going to an 80s party or for Halloween in October, just to, have something to look back on and get some ideas. So yeah, that's what I'm just doing, you guys. And I'm just basically throwing colors together and hoping that they go. Okay, so I do want to use, because I remember using, it looked like some teal on there. So I think I'm going to go into this shade. I might just kind of play around with these two shades right now. Let's use a little bit of that blue, the darker blue, or pretty aqua. It's super pretty. So I think I'm just going to lay that right here. I'm using just a small little detail brush. So yeah, you guys, who are your heartthrobs? I also was in love with Matt Dillon and Rob Lowe, and that man still looks amazing to this day. I don't know, he has a secret water and that people drink out of in Hollywood, I swear. Who else? Oh gosh, you guys, the movies. E.T. I forgot about the E.T. Ghostbusters, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club. Oh, don't even get Daryl started on that. He was on a rampage the other day. And I'm going to use this here on the inner corner. He was on rampage the other day. He goes, what a crock of, do is that movie. He goes, I was just watching it, and he was watching it was on the other day, and he goes, what a crock that was. He goes, seriously, Laura, think about it. These kids are in detention, and the parents come to pick them up, and Molly Ringwald is making out with that guy on the parents' BMW. He goes, what do you think your dad would have done, done if you did that? And I'm like, my dad would have seriously came out, pulled the guy off by his ear, and God knows, grabbed me by my hair and thrown me in the car, because so he's right with that. I mean, some of the movies were just hilarious, like, where were these parents? But in a way, if you look back, I always said that. I've always said, I don't think our parents loved us, because the things that we were allowed to do was insane. I would be climbing trees that were about to be fall to the ground. Branches are just, it was so old. And I'm like, really? And literally, when I got my license, my mom, my mom and dad went, here, be on your way. Me with Kurt, I mean, I just was like so overprotective. Okay, you guys, so I think this is basically all I'm going to do with the look here. So now I just got to think of, like, what kind of eyeliner do I want to do? The typical black eyeliner, or do I want to use a color eyeliner? You guys, I think I'm just going to go with black, because if you think about it, that's what we did back in the day. Actually, do you remember taking a pencil liner and lining it with a lighter, to get the really deep black? Well, thank goodness we don't have to do that today, because I would be a little nervous doing that now. So I'm just going to actually go in with my She Glam here. I love this liner. It is really nice. And I think I'm going to be a little dramatic, of course. So I'm going to just follow basically the tape there. And I'm only going to go halfway, you know, into my eye or eyelid and just connect it to that. Ooh, I just messed up. Oh, well, I don't think we'll really notice that. So I'm just going to do that and let me see how the wing looks. So there's just a little bit of cleanup that I'm going to need to do right here, or I can make it super dramatic, you guys. And just connect that. Okay, so I think they're pretty even. I just have a little bit of cleanup, so I'm going to put some micellar water on a Q-tip and just clean up these wings a little bit. Or to fill in my pores, I'm going to use this. This is the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams. I love this formula way better than the original formula. I just think it works so well on my pores, and it keeps it, you know, not so oily throughout the day. And I love the smell of it. Okay, and then for primer, I'm going to mix these two together, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But it is the L'Oreal, and this is the Lumi Glotion, and I'm going to mix it with the Milani Supercharged here. So this is super hydrating. I really love this, and I forget that I have it. So it's more like a, I guess, a moisturizer, and this does have like a little bit of glow in it. So I want the two combined because this is actually like a drier formula. So I'm just going to mix the two and see what happens. Ooh, that Milani smells really good too. It has like a citrus scent. So yeah, you guys, my first job was McDonald's. I used to have so much fun there. We were such hard workers, you know. We were only 15, or if we had been 16, I would say 16, 17, 18 years old. And we had so much fun, but we got the job done. Okay, you guys, I'm going to use Maybelline Superstay, and this is the 30-hour. I got it in warm nude. That's why I kind of wanted to mix these two. It's a little bit of a drier formula. So I wanted something a little bit more full coverage. Uh-oh, you guys. Is it super old? Or is it almost empty? Okay. I'm mixing in my e.l.f. Adjuster. Otherwise, I was going to look way too ghostly. So hopefully this is better. Yep, it's better. I don't know. I probably could have went a little darker, but at least it's not super, super light. Yeah, but we used to go to a lot of concerts. Actually, at the place where I went to go see Tears for Fears, it's called Pine Knob. It's actually a ski resort. Not a ski resort, but, you know, just a place to go skiing. And, you know, so during the winter, that's what everybody does. And during the summer, the other part of the hill is, you know, where they have concerts. And you can either purchase lawn seats, which, you know, you just bring a blanket or a chair. Just watch it from the hill, the grass. And that's what we did for Tears for Fears. Or you could purchase, you know, a pavilion where you get seated and you're under something that is protecting you if it did rain. But we got super lucky. It was beautiful weather that day. But I've seen a lot of concerts there. The big thing, you guys remember this? I don't know if it, you know, in your state, but in our state, a big thing was going to see the Beach Boys. And even though they weren't 80s music, but it just was the vibe. People would be tailgating for hours, you know, for that. And yeah, we had a lot of fun, you guys. And I do remember using this foundation, and it does last for hours. For bronzer, I'm going to try this. I think I've tried it before, and I think I liked it. It's by LA Girl. It just says bronzer on it. So it looks like this. Yeah, you guys, I think the reason why I want to stay in the 80s is because the times were just so much better. People got along. We didn't have all this craziness. If we did, we didn't hear about it because we didn't have all this social media where it's kind of thrown in our face. You know, we just were happy. You know, we used to have this place. It was like a club for, I don't know, 18 and, you know, younger. I think you had to be like 16. I don't know. It was a club, you guys, that I could get into at, you know, pretty young age. And everybody would be dancing. There was no fighting. There was none of this, you know, shootings and anything, you guys. You know, we didn't have to worry about that. And that's what's so sad. I don't know. I feel really bad for kids that grow up in this era because they've missed out in so much. Because you guys remember like Walkmans. I mean, could you imagine these kids today if they had to tape, you know, their songs on a a cassette and, do the little cassette Walkman. And then what did they do? It turned into like a CD Walkman. Oh my gosh, you guys. It was just such, simpler times. We just were all happy. We'd go roller skating. And I mean, you might have the occasional fight, but you know what? People weren't afraid to use their fists, and maybe get a black eye. Now they take it way too far, So it's just, yeah, I think that's why I love it. People were happy. We were just happy. Okay, and I think I'm going to use this here as, just a base blush. And I can never see the shades on these, you guys. I mean, they make it so hard. I'll look it up and put it in the description box. But it's this shade here, so it's a little bright. And again, I'm just going to lay this down as the base. What is your favorite part of the 80s? What really sticks out in your head? I would love to hear your favorite band, who you had a crush on. What did you guys do, to be bad, back in the 80s? I mean, we would do some bad stuff, you guys. Ours was like toilet papering people's front yards, maybe the, occasional egging would happen, stuff like that. We did things. We weren't stuck in our basements, playing these games, although, what was it, Atari that came out, and we played those games, but the games that we played were, I don't know, you guys, if you think about it, they were non-violent for sure. There was the Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, and I loved Frogger and Pitfall. Those were my favorites. But again, we didn't spend hours, on these games. Always forgetting something, you guys. I've got my concealer. I'm going to be using this. I love these CoverGirl sticks here, and I got mine in the shade Light. They are so creamy, and I don't know, they just look so nice under my eye. I'm just going to add a little there and a little bit on my outer corner. Yeah, you guys, my under eyes, I have been a little bit dry, and I think it's because I'm using a product that has retinol in it, so it's probably just going to go through a process. So I am definitely going to keep that CoverGirl just in case, because even this is looking a little dry, which is very unusual. Back in the 80s, do you guys remember some girls that wore super white concealer under their eyes? Yeah, I remember that. Like, they'd be super, super tan and then have like bright white under eyes. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a powder bronzer, and I thought of using this today. It just smells so good. It smells like summer. A lot of times summer reminds me of the 80s. I used to do a lot of stuff, like we'd go on. There's a lot of lakes in Lake Orion. I mean, hence the name. So, I was out on the water a lot. So it just reminds me of those times, fishing with my dad, being out with friends that did have boats. So yeah, that just takes me back a little bit from my childhood. I don't know why. Okay, so I am just going to powder the perimeter on my face, and I am going to use this by She Glam. This is a very nice powder. I always forget about it. So it's in translucent, and it's super, super finely milled. Yeah, you guys, my high school was basically pretty lame. We would have the typical parties, but our parties were, a lot of them were held out in the field because there was a lot of open fields in Lake Orion. So it was called the field party. It would be like, hey, you going to the field party? Because, we could do that and basically kind of not get caught somehow, you guys. Very rarely would, get broken up. It was bizarre. And, this way the parents didn't have to have their parties in their homes, or people wouldn't get in huge trouble, like when they came home and the house was destroyed, So we did a lot of these field parties, and they were a blast. I did a lot of football games, of course, being a cheerleader. We're constantly at the football games, basketball games, stuff like that. Okay, for blush, I want something super bright, so I'm definitely going to use this, and this is by Believe Beauty. It's in the shade Wink, and I'm going to go pretty heavy with this blush because, yeah, that was the thing. So if you ever do this look, you're going to want to kind of even bring it out on your cheek. Yeah, you want bright. I'm going to bring this up here because I think I did that in that picture. And I'm gonna still put a little bit in my eyeshadow, you guys, even though I didn't do that back then. I do like doing it now. Whoa, that is pretty bright. Hey, maybe hopefully the look all comes together instead of this right now. It's always so shocking to see yourself look like that for a second. Okay, you guys, let's go back into the palette and finish the eye look. And I think I'm gonna stay because from that picture it looks like I did a lot of this on the lower lash line. I think I'm gonna go into that dark blue or ocean blue shade first and put quite a bit, and I'm going to go all the way over, but blend this out. Okay, now I'm going to go into that pretty teal shade and just put that really close to the lash line. All right, you guys, I think I do want to add something in my inner corner because it is kind of looking, I don't know, too deep. So I'm just going to take like a pointy brush here, and I'm going to use this pretty highlighter. Oh yeah, that looks really pretty. Okay, you guys, I thought it was taping and it wasn't. So this is the design. I'm going to put something over here so you can see what I did. I can't believe I did this. Okay, so I went in, I just using this as like a template type thing or outline. And this is my LA Girl, and this is Super Shock. It's like in a pretty purple or lavender shade. So what I do is just start at my outer corner, and I'm going to draw a line and almost just like a Z. So that's just basically it, you guys. And then for the star, I just kind of do this, make an X, go through the X, and then go through that. So that's just basically what I do for the star. So it's super, super easy. And then what I did was I made it a little deeper, and I went in with this shade here, and I put that on an angled brush with a little bit of setting spray. Then I went in and just really deepen that up just so you can see it a lot better. And using an angled brush, especially with this design, is super easy. And so again, I'm just going to make an X. And you can do whatever kind of star that you want. You can even just stop right there. And that is, you know, how easy it is. And then I did go in with a little bit of glitter. And I just had some from, you know, when I do my nails. And I add a little bit of setting spray on that. And just picked up a little bit. And I'm just going to basically outline, you know, everything there. Just place a little bit of glitter all in wherever you want. So that's about all I'm going to do. And then I did add a little bit of glitter on my wing here and just a little bit over there. So, and that's all the glitter I want because you know how messy this stuff is. And I did add a little bit up here. So I don't know where it cut off, you guys. I just realized I wasn't filming. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I am going to, off camera, do my lashes. And I'm just going to curl them. And I'm going to use my Essence. And this is the Lash Princess. And this is the Volumize and Curl, I believe. So I'm going to hurry up and do that. And I'll be back and we'll finish the look together. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me as you walk on by, when you call my name, as you walk away. Okay, you guys, as usual, I made a mess with my mascara, so I love using a spoolie just to flick that off, and all this glitter that's around. This is so much better than trying to use a brush. Okay, for lips, you guys, I got a little bit going on here. I want something super bright. So I'm going to use this liner here, and let's see if there's a shade on this one. These ones just says pink. Pink Blossom. It was in that pack of 12 that I got on Amazon, so this should be pretty bright. Oh, yes, it sure is. Oh, yeah, that is really bright, but super pretty. Guys, these are so creamy. They glide on, just with such ease. Yeah, you guys, there wasn't a lot of stories. It's just, there's a lot of memories, that are just hard to explain. They're just things, moments, when you felt, alive and happy. And, like again, there just wasn't this chaos. The kids are trapping themselves in their homes, playing these violent games. And, I think that has just brought on a lot of stuff, because we honestly, you think about it, we really didn't have most of this, again, if we did, our parents really hid that from us, which I appreciate. Or we just didn't see it. So yeah, much beautiful, more happy times in the 80s, I believe. Okay, you guys, and then I'm going to go in with this. And this is the Maybelline Vinyl Ink. And this is in the shade Koi. I think that will look really pretty. Yeah, that looks really pretty with that liner. And I think I'm just going to use this because, we have to have a glossy lip. This is the Essence Shine, Shine, Shine. And I'm just going to put a little bit just in the center. Tap that in. Okay, you guys, this is the completed makeup look. Oh my gosh, how fun is this, you guys? It is, you seen, it actually is super easy to achieve. It's not a lot of effort. Yeah, I love how it turned out. But you guys, I have had this for so long. When I used to go see the leg warmers, I think this was originally an earring, and I just put it on one of these type of barrettes, and I just pulled my hair back so you can see that cute little design, and clip this in my hair. And that way it's just like this, like a roach clip, you guys. And then look at this, these glasses. You guys remember these? I mean, look at this look, with the shirt. I'm telling you, if you're going to an 80s party, this is amazing. Oh, look at the earrings, you guys. So the packet came with like these gloves, the necklace, the earrings, I think leg warmers, a bunch of these bracelets, and it was like $15, you guys. I would definitely do this in a heartbeat to go to any party, any 80s party, 80s concert. Definitely, this is my jam. I love this. I'd be playing my 80s music, singing at the top of my lungs. I had so much fun. And again, I would love to hear your favorite moments, growing up as, in the 80s. Again, we just had so much fun, but between the movies, the toys, everything, you guys, we were so blessed and lucky to have grown up in such a wonderful, wonderful decade. I loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed the 80s as much as I did. I hope you enjoyed this look. I'm so sad that story time is over. But again, any story that comes up, I'm going to be telling it. And because I really, truly enjoy telling my stories. So I love sharing everything with you guys. Like, oh my God, did you love this tubular video? And if you did, could you hit that like button? All right, you guys, I hope you really did enjoy today's video. I can't wait to see you guys on Thursday. I love you so much, and until next time.